Hey everyone, about a week ago I did a video doing some anniversary servant predictions, but today I wanted to talk about the actual anniversary and what I sort of expect to get in terms of quartz, in terms of maybe updates and things like that. So let's get into it. I just started with the sort of graphic for the expo, because every year for the anniversary, of course, they do, kind of a, I don't really want to call it a convention, but a big thing in Japan. And usually it's really cool. It has some cool merchandise. There's a really cool Nobunaga car from the recent Guru Guru event that I really want, but alas, it's probably going to cost a lot of money to get from Japan. But anyway, I like MASH. I like the little 5 stars. Sometimes I'm not this crazy, this year at least, but sometimes there's some hints to like what anniversary character we're getting in the symbols and stuff for each anniversary, but we're not going to get into that really today, but we're going to talk more about the things we're going to expect. So first I'm going to start off with the 7th anniversary. So the 7th anniversary, this was of course 2 years ago. NA, you guys just got this. 7th anniversary was pretty good. 7th anniversary was actually one of the best anniversaries because we got a really highly requested servant in Arc Ruin, and we got some really cool changes to the game, namely the quick, basically, update, so basically they made quick, now, I say now, it's been 2 years, that when you start a quick chain, you start with quick, all cards gain 20% crit chance. That was such a big change. It was so awesome to see, really helped quick, because obviously, and I still feel this way. I think quick is still the weakest card type, but I think now it's way closer to every other card, and now it's more just like hey, we just need a supporter. Before it really was like, this is just the worst card type in general, Now it's like, hey, we just need a supporter, and we're rocking, Then they also changed quick chain. So now when you quick chain, when you do 3 quicks, you get 20 stars instead of 10. So that's really cool. And then they also added the mighty chain. This was one of my favorite effects from, updates that they've done in a while, especially like to the game, where if you do a buster, an arts, and a quick all in one chain, you get every one of those effects. And I loved that. I thought that was a great change. I use it a lot, and yeah, that's pretty good for game updates. Other things we got in the 7th anniversary was we got a ton of quartz. Now, it was a little like, where is it on here? It was a little like, because basically you got quartz for every servant that you max ascended, I believe was the was how it worked, and you got 3. Yeah, here it is. Yeah, permanent ascension rewards. So once you got a non-free, so that's friend point and a 4-star SR, that's a welfare servant. Every other servant you leveled up to Ascension 4, you got 3 quartz for. So of course that sort of adds up to, and I have a really nice graphic that someone posted on Reddit right here. Oh, it's kind of cutting off here. Anyway, it says it says for the 7th anniversary, we got 1,000. Maybe I can just scooch it up just a tad. Ooh, yeah, there we go. 1,135. Of course, that was the totality of everything, and most players that this is awesome to are not going to get that many, right? Because the players that are going to get 1,000 are going to be the people that have every character in the game, right? And they don't necessarily need quartz. But really cool, really nice. Then the next year, in 8th anniversary, we got 540. Another thing we got in the 7th anniversary was a really cool, we got to choose one of 7 craft essences, one of the sort of OG craft essences. This was nice. And I'm going to talk about something that I want them to do this year as well. But this was cool. I would like them this year to sort of give us more choices, like just give us a ton of choices. And also, I think we're at the point where the game has gotten to such a high level, and we'll talk about that in a second, that I think giving out a max limit break of one of these would be really nice. You know, I think so much content is sort of revolves around Black Grail nowadays. I feel like 90++ and stuff. And of course you can do it without it, right? Definitely you can do it without it. But Black Grail is just such a pivotal piece in a lot of team building. And but yeah, that'd be nice if they do maybe like this exact thing, but it's full limit break. So then we'll kind of go into the 8th anniversary. I think I was, you know, I think me and a lot of other players, not to speak for everyone, but was pretty disappointed in this anniversary. We got no real big game updates, like to the actual game, because of course in the 7th anniversary, we got the Quick and Mighty Chain updates. This year, they kind of didn't do anything for the anniversary because they excused it with them adding the Ordeal Call and the class score system, which is those sort of skill trees that we got. My opinion of those is they're very just, I don't know, I don't like them. I think they're fine to have, but they weren't as impactful as I thought they were going to be, and that's sort of, you know, my take on the class score. But definitely felt disappointing where it's like, man, we didn't get any updates. And also the Anniversary Servant was, I think, sort of just, you know, objectively, like, just pretty frustrating because they combined a new character with a Summer Morgan, and to me it felt like I wish they would have separated those two and just made, okay, here's Summer Morgan and Summer, and then here's Tony Lico herself. Tony Lico is one of my favorite characters in the game now. I mean, I have her NP4, I love her, but definitely at the time was like, man, what? This feels like they're just milking, you know, Lost Belt 6, you know, they love Morgan, they love all those, you know. But yeah, other than that, we didn't get too much other stuff. We got, as you know, as that graphic said, 540 quartz about. And then what was the special way we got quartz? It was like, yeah, this stuff is normal. Where was the we also got quartz for like unlocking class score as well. I forgot what the specific like retroactive thing they wanted you to do to get quartz, but they usually do that every year. Of course, the 7th anniversary was Getty Ascending 4. This year, I think they could do something maybe with bond level. Like, I think if they do maybe like every 2 bond levels you get a quartz, or maybe every bond level you get a quartz. I kind of like that. You just add a quartz. You know, obviously we get quartz rewards on some bond levels already, but we just add a quartz. I think that would actually add up to a big haul. You know, another thing is just maybe like leveled up servants. You know, if they want to do that route, but some way for us to get a lot of quartz would be nice. And then one of the other things, which was sort of new, if I can find it, was the Destiny Order. And actually, NA just got this really early. But the Destiny Order, of course, was sort of a choose. You get to choose 9 different servants, 1 from each class, and then 2 different extra pools, basically. And you got 1 of those servants guaranteed. It's just like anything but giving us a limited ticket. You know, it feels like at this point it's anything, any way for us to not be able to choose the servant we want. The other thing was it was a little weird because Nero was not on there, which was a little disappointing for players, for some players, and it was definitely shocking to me. And yeah, another aspect that this is really important. I'm going to do a video about Destiny Order for this coming year when it comes out, because I assume it's just going to be a repeating thing. We're going to get it once every anniversary. But one thing I do want to make sure people know, and I'm going to say this in the video, but also, is the way it works is you're guaranteed 1 of them on the 9 that you choose, but the pool is every limited character. Because when I summoned, I put a bunch of characters, and one of them I put was Cleopatra because I didn't have her. And I ended up getting Cleopatra and Ereshkigal, which is lucky, right? I mean, it's pretty lucky, but I already had Ereshkigal. But that Ereshkigal was not on my list at all. So I want people to know, maybe they changed that, but definitely it's not like, hey, here's my 9 and this is the only pool of 5 stars that's in it. That's not how it works. Which is a little, you know, disappointing. I think, again, this is super niche, super, like, the chance of this happening are really low, but you would have loved to see, hey, this is just my pool, right? This is my pool of 9. And 9 is like a big number too, you know? Like it's just like almost like a create your own lucky bag, basically. But still pretty cool. I think still a nice thing to add on top of the lucky bag for people that, you know, just spend a little bit of money here and there. I'm not sure who I'm going to do for the Destiny order, but we'll talk about that in that video that I will be doing probably before the anniversary comes out, just to prepare everyone. And yeah, so last year was pretty, I would say, mixed to disappointing, you know. And this year, I think, I think it'll be good. I think it'll be good. I think we're going to get a lot of quartz. I think at the very least, as we go back to this graphic, I think at the very least we will get probably like 600. I think we're going to get a little bit higher than the 540. And then I also think we're going to get, again, as much as I want CL, as much as I want, you know, I think we're going to get a pretty impactful servant. So, of course, in the sort of anniversary history, we've usually gotten, like, really impactful support characters, you know, namely Castratoria, Scotty, stuff like that. Then the last 2 years we started getting Arcruid, and then we got Tony Lico 2, you know, offense or whatever, not support characters, you know. I mean, Tony Lico arguably is kind of a support character as well. And also they sort of scaled with NP level, which is a thing that they've sort of been creeping into the game ever so slightly, which I don't really like, but if it's just anniversary characters, sure, but it feels like it creeps into other characters as well. Like we talked about Lady Avalon, Proto Merlin. You know, she has 2 effects that scale on the NP level. But anyway, I think we're going to get a pretty impactful servant. And one of the reasons I think we're going to get this, like a safe bet would be a quick support, is because this year alone, and I brought up all the servants that have come out this year. This year alone, out of the 8 like offense 5 stars, 5 of them have been quick. So Alice, Monte Cristo, or Count of Monte Cristo, was Marie Antoinette? No, Andromeda for sure. Ushigozen and Hibiki and Chikagi, the most recent 5-star. So 5 of them out of the 8, it's just 5 stars, you know, have been quick. That's a very large percentage, very large percentage. And I've kind of noticed that too. It's like, man, they're doing a lot of quick servants, right? What does that mean? Well, it could mean that they just printing the same character over and over and over, which they have been doing recently. Or it could mean, hey, quick support coming up, and they sort of want to usher in this new era of quick to at least compete with Buster and Arts. Obviously, I think that would interfere with my, you know, CL guess or pick, and also they could put this sort of mystery quick support character in summer. I think that's actually a pretty likely option if they say, hey, they do. I don't know, what support character could they do as a summer? You know, I kind of want Summerainus. We'll just use Summerainus as like an example. Hey, they could make Summerainus as, you know, she's a quick support or something. Other than that, anniversary servant-wise, we talked about it in the last video, so, you know, that's that. One thing I do want to sort of talk about is the fact that we've been getting a lot of harder stuff in the game, right? 90 plus pluses. Every event, it feels sort of like, hey, I sort of call it like musical chairs, where it's like, hey, which servant today is going to be the 90 plus clear? And my stance on 90 plus nodes in events is you don't need to do them most of the time. I think they are cool if you can clear them. Most of the time I can clear them. But you don't want to go out of your way if, say, hey, you're leveling up bond units, or you just want to use some other servant and you don't want to be, you know, put into this, you have to use these, you know, 4 to 5 characters, because that's usually how 90 plus pluses are. And that last statement, huge asterisk, except for lottery events. I think for lottery events, 90 plus is definitely the way to go. And I'm a little worried. We haven't gotten a lottery event in a while now, and I'm worried that like the next 90 plus lottery event is going to be really like, I don't want to say hard, but you have to have very specific servants, very specific clear requirements almost, right? And to that end, I think there's a lot of sort of sentiment about, hey, we have to have like high NP levels, we have to have these specific servants to complete this high level stuff, and the rates are still really bad. And, you know, all of that was basically to say, it'd be awesome to see a rate increase to the game. And I know every year I think that's sort of just like a generic thing. It's like, hey, make it easier to get 5 stars. But I think we're at the point now where clears of certain content, especially once we get to, did you guys hear that? That was a notification sound. Once we get to content that's sort of, you know, you kind of want to do 90 plus in the lottery events. I don't think that's a hot take, right? That you got to have, hey, you know, if you're missing a couple servants of specific, you know, types, or hey, if you don't have, what was the last clear, you know, like Awako and Alice and stuff like that, you know, you got to figure it out. And of course you can figure it out. It's not that you can't, but it's gotten a little bit ridiculous in my opinion. That's just my opinion. I'm all fine with hard content, but not sort of gated behind like the most efficient way to do stuff. Because this game, to me, the reason this game is amazing and the reason I love this game is that you can basically use whoever you want and you can get them up. You can invest in a character and they're cracked out. Like I use Nobunaga all the time, or, you know, Avenger Nobunaga, and she's a good servant. Like, she's not bad now. You know, I've never thought she was bad, even from release. But I have her like fully invested, and I just can do almost all the content with her. And I love that. I think that's one of the key points of the game. When I start not liking the game is when it's like, hey, okay, plug her in, plug a few other teams in, can't clear it. Google what the clear is, and it's like, well, I don't have all these characters, you know. So yeah, that's basically what I wanted to say about that. I think a rate increase would be really nice, and I think we're about due. I could see them waiting for the 10th anniversary, because that would be like a really big deal, you know, for the 10th anniversary. Even maybe lowering the spark requirements, you know, the pity requirements. That's, you know, that's the word I'm looking for. To like 600 would be really nice, and adding a repeatable, like it's just every 600 you get whoever, right? I would like that. I think that would be another way to fix that issue. But last thing is sort of to tie into that, we sort of talked about craft essences. I would love to see a max limit broken craft essence given out of our choice. Black Grail is really important in the game. It's one of the best craft essences in the game. And, you know, it's hard for some players, if they don't have it, to really find clears and figure out, you know, what to do sometimes. So I think we're also at the point where, you know, that like we're also at the point where some players don't even need to use Black Grails. So I think we're at, you know, right in the middle where it's like, hey, new players or mid players, they can use Black Grail. It'll be really helpful to them, but also it won't like hinder, I don't know, profit or whatever, I guess, for whales and stuff, because they already have it. Another aspect is like, I guess they did it once or twice, but there's not really here's a Black Grail banner. They actually did that a couple times though, didn't they? They did like a just all like CE up banner, but it's not like it's a limited ticket, right? And yeah, so that's pretty much all I wanted to say about the anniversary. Hopefully that was sort of interesting. If you guys have any thoughts about what you guys think is going to be coming out in this year's anniversary, it's going to be the 9th one. It's going to be big. I'm probably going to be streaming it as well. I think the first day I'm not too sure if I'm going to stream the first day, but I will probably at least do like a summer reaction video. And then, of course, that last day, that little hour and a half of the, what do they call it? The Chaldea broadcast, whatever. We on it. And I hope to see you guys there too. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. Hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you guys think about this anniversary. And yeah, hope you guys have a great day. And I will see you later. Bye-bye.